Chelsea need to sign Ivan Toney more than Arsenal, according to former Blues right-back Glenn Johnson. The striker is linked with both London clubs, and Johnson reckons his old team will be able to sign him for less than Brentford's asking price. Toney's 8-month ban for breaching the FA's betting rules doesn't end until the middle of January. Brentford have stuck by the star and want him to stay until the end of the season at least. But his contract in West London expires in just over 18 months' time, so a decision will soon need to be made on his future. Arsenal are set to enter the market for a striker, with Toney their number one target. Johnson, though, feels Chelsea are in greater need of the England international. He also reckons that Toney would be better suited to Mauricio Pochettino's style of play than Mikel Arteta's. I believe Chelsea need him more, and he would suit the way they play. Chelsea are clearly planning for the future and they're continuing to build, but Arsenal are competing right now, so it all depends on who Ivan believes will be competing for trophies more in the next 5 years. Johnson does not think Toney's value has decreased as a result of his ban. But he says an asking price in the region of £100 million is not realistic, and is Brentford just chancing their arm to see what they can get? It's probably a case that that's what they're hoping for, as opposed to what they'll actually get for Ivan. Brentford know that they're only going to get one chance to sell Ivan Toney, and they will want to receive as much as they possibly can for him. I don't think his price will drop too much because of the ban, because it's not as if Ivan's been injured for the past 6 months. If it was an injury we were talking about, then Brentford surely couldn't demand such a fee for Ivan. Once Ivan is match fit, then there will be no problems going forward, but I still believe that £80 million to £100 million is too much for him anyway. Former Premier League champions Chelsea are reportedly mounting pressure on Serie A champions Napoli to sell their star player, Victor Osimhen, in the January transfer window. The Nigerian international was impressive with Naples last season, where he scored 26 goals in 32 top-flight matches, and his effort helped the Parthenopeans secure their first Serie A title in 33 years. The 24-year-old is not resting on his last season's brilliant performance, as he has netted 6 goals in 10 appearances this campaign. Also, his outstanding display has attracted interest from top clubs in Europe over the summer transfer window, as both Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea. Osimhen's contract expires in 2025. The Super Eagles striker has refused to sign an extension, prompting speculation that he might leave the Italian champions. According to Caught Offside, despite spending over £1 billion on new players since Todd Boehly's takeover in 2022, Chelsea wants to strengthen their forward line and has identified Osimhen as their top target. Osimhen is one of Chelsea's top targets for 2024, and they are eager to take advantage of the complicated contract negotiations between the player and his current club Napoli, a report from Caught Offside reads. Napoli are flat-out refusing to sell Osimhen in January, but Chelsea want to do the legwork now to ensure they are at the front of the queue for the 24-year-old's signature next summer. Napoli could try to bolster their own position by agreeing to insert a release clause into any potential new contract for Osimhen, but at the moment there does not appear to have been any significant progress on all parties agreeing a new deal. And they are believed to be eager to take advantage of the complicated contract negotiations between Osimhen and Napoli. Every striker needs a hat-trick, but Nicholas Jackson needed one more than most. Against Chelsea's arch-rivals Tottenham as well? That is a dream come true. Coming into the game on Monday evening, Jackson was at the center of a lot of criticism from Chelsea fans. The 22-year-old striker, who arrived in the summer transfer window for £30 million, had just 2 goals to his name in 9 Premier League appearances. There had been plenty of criticism around Jackson's composure in front of goal and at times his wastefulness. There were even times on Monday where he perhaps needed to compose himself a little bit more, but more significantly, Jackson netted his first hat-trick for Chelsea since moving from Spain. Yes, it was against 9 men after Tottenham picked up 2 red cards either side of halftime. Yes, it was against a ludicrously high line given the circumstances and how the game was unfolding. But that will mean very little to Jackson, as Chelsea teammates will be delighted he is back in the goals, too, whatever the circumstances. Cole Palmer, who scored his 3rd goal for the club since arriving in the summer on Monday night, has been the man creating the majority of opportunities for Jackson. And he knows, despite his hat-trick, his teammate can do a lot better. Obviously, it's been a difficult start for him, there's no hiding it, but he was brilliant tonight, Palmer said to Sky Sports on Jackson. He needs to work hard on the training pitch, and I think he will get many more hat-tricks. When asked, "Did you say work harder?" Palmer responded emphatically, "Of course, you always need to work harder." A sort of leadership mentality that is very rare with someone, at 21 years old, so young. Palmer has clearly inherited Pep Guardiola's perfectionist mentality from his days at Manchester City. Guardiola is one of the best managers in world football, and his attention to detail is what sets him apart from the rest. He will never settle for good, he always wants great, and it has clearly rubbed off on Palmer. Chelsea fans can breathe a small sigh of relief ahead of welcoming league leaders Manchester City on Sunday, as the third point of their key midfield axis looks set to be fit. After going off before the 65th minute against Tottenham, Enzo Fernandez was a noticeable absence in the center of the park. As most players appeared to panic for 15 minutes while Spurs' highline spooked Chelsea's young side, Fernandez's composure and quality on the ball would have been quite the asset for springing the most springeable of offside traps. As it happened, Mauricio Pochettino was made to go on without his keystone. Fernandez, who is yet to really impact the team in terms of goals and output, has been one of the most reliable performers this season and regularly keeps things ticking over. He has formed a relationship alongside Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo that promises to be central in more ways than on to Pochettino's plans moving forward. In the incident that would eventually hand Chelsea an equalizer, it was Fernandez that was brought down by Christian Romero's aggressive tackle inside the Spurs box. The Argentine defender didn't give his international teammate any special treatment, raking his studs down the shin and onto the ankle of Fernandez recklessly. Romero saw red, and Fernandez, it seems, didn't properly recover. From his roaming position, one which has been moved from a number 10 to a number 6 before finally settling somewhere in between more recently, Fernandez has completed the third most passes of anyone in the side, topping long pass metrics, through balls and switches. He has the most varied passing skill set on the ball of any player in the team and excels at sliding through his forwards from deep as well as finding fullbacks and wingers with his crossfield parabolas. On Monday, though, he took a knock in the first half and was far from his usual self. Unsurprisingly, a new striker is expected to be targeted. As mentioned above, the Blues have suffered in the center-forward position, and Ivan Toney is a favorite to fill the role. Toney continues to attract interest from numerous clubs ahead of his return to action in January. With 15 months left on his contract, Brentford are in a good position to receive the mega money they require. A fee worth £100 million has been touted, and from past experience, Chelsea aren't one to refuse a high asking price. In a dream scenario, the appealing project being built under Pochettino will tempt Toney to Stamford Bridge and give them an outlet for the remainder of the season. Staying in the attack, a new winger could be on their radar in Federico Chiesa. According to Tutto Juve, Chelsea are considering a move for the Juventus star, alongside London rivals Arsenal. However, the argument that Pochettino needs a new winger is a strong one. Mykhailo Mudryk and Cole Palmer have grown into themselves this season. And with Noni Madueke and Raheem Sterling, the position is well stacked. Now, perhaps the best news to come to Cobham will be the return of Nkunku. According to reports, the Carabao Cup clash with Newcastle next month has been earmarked as the forward's first start from his knee injury. The former RB Leipzig's return will have a new signing feeling about it. Not only should the goals come, his attacking lineup play in between the lines and threat from deep positions could spark a surprise surge to the UEFA Champions League places.